Okay, you're good.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the River's Edge for the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Got a bit of a change up for you this week. We've got comedy going on instead of live bands. My name's Payton. I'm going to be your host for the event. I'm going to be bringing up some of the comedians that we have here in Tucson. All of us are local. We got guys who are just starting out. We've got other ones who are veterans of comedy, been doing it for many years. It's great to have everybody here. Please don't forget to tip your bartender over here, Amber. She makes a fantastic Bloody Mary to keep me going in the morning. We'd also like to thank our host, Carolyn, also known as Trouble, for bringing us in, and the River's Edge for giving us this opportunity to do what we do instead of being put in a dark corner somewhere, like we usually end up.
Don't put baby in the corner.
Don't put baby in the corner. You're going to see some original stuff from these guys here today. We don't. We're not cover bands, so we do our own thing. Although there are some great cover bands, don't get me wrong on that either. I'm going to start. Like I said, my name's Payton. I've got several other comedians coming up behind me, and so to get things started, you may be wondering why I'm wearing this shirt. And I hope you can see it because it says, I survived the shooter. And for me, that's an everyday accomplishment because I live on the south side of Tucson. I live in a very dangerous part of the south side. It's called my house. This also works for Batman movies and Congress on Your Corner.
Oh, ow.
A little too soon? Okay. I'm one of these people who firmly believes, though, that if you move into a new country, that you should embrace the culture and learn the language of the country that you move to. And I've actually lived on the south side of Tucson for the last 7 years, and I still don't know how to speak Spanish. There's some other cultural differences on the south side of Tucson too. Fairy tales are different than where I grew up. Fairy tales where I grew up started with Once Upon a Time, and fairy tales on the south side of Tucson start with See What Had Happened Was. And which is kind of odd too, because that seems to be the same way the police reports start. Another thing about the south side of Tucson is, well, actually, what I was going to say was, I also ride a motorcycle through the south side of Tucson, which is a little bit different. But I watch people and the ways they ride different kinds of bikes, and I always get a kick out of different things there too. So you've got the people who ride the little scooters. And when they ride their scooters, sorry about that. As they ride their little scooters, you see them on the roadway, and they're. Got to adjust this a little bit. Bring this down to my level. So as they ride their little scooters along, you see them in Tucson. And they look like, well, they kind of look like this. You see them on their little 125s or their 150s, and they've got the faces that are kind of like, and they're looking around, riding through traffic like they're afraid some kid on a five-year-old on a bicycle is going to blow them off the road. Or then you see the guys who ride the crotch rockets. They got their legs all tucked back here, and they're cruising along, and I don't know what it is, but lately I see guys riding with their left hand on their hip and the other hand on the throttle, and I can't tell whether they're, whether that's supposed to be the cool thing to do or whether they just ate too much Taco Bell the night before. And for those of us who ride Harleys, of course, we ride our Harleys, and we've got the thank you. We've got our bikes, and we're sitting on those, and we're kind of like kick back and relax. I mean, hell, we even got footrests so we can put our feet up. We got our feet up on the footrest as we're cruising along, and I mean, literally, if you could put a big screen TV and a keg of beer on that, I'd never get off mine. And the other thing too is you still have those other guys who ride who look like they're trying to dry their laundry. They're way out there like that. So that's the different kinds of riders that I see around here in Tucson. I bought the motorcycle really because I was going through kind of a midlife crisis. I just turned 49. I've been married for 24 years. It took me 3 wives to get there, but I've been married for 24 years. And my wife was really cool about me buying the motorcycle, which was great. So I buy the motorcycle because I like it, and it turns out it wasn't just a purchase for me. She likes the motorcycle as much as I do. Sometimes she takes it, goes out to the garage and starts the thing up, and it never leaves the garage for like an hour. Turned out it's the biggest vibrator I could have ever bought her. So.
Why do you think I ride? Second gear. I love my fat boy.
So, yeah, it'll never leave the garage. And as I'm going through my midlife crisis, I'm thinking, maybe I should start thinking about religion. I'm not a very religious person. I don't like the Muslims because they seem to be, there's a few too many extremists out there. And Christians kind of trouble me because no matter what they do, they can be forgiven.
It's a get out of
And
jail
so
free card.
what I'm thinking is I should maybe convert to Judaism. It's been around for the longest, one of the longest, most respected religions in the world. And the nice thing about Judaism too is they have these really cool hats that they'll help hide this part. Those yarmulkes cover that up quite nicely. So, thank you, Carolyn. Also, let's see. My wife told me though, she recently told me I should stop riding without my helmet. And I said, well, why do you want me to stop riding without my helmet? She says, well, I want everybody else to see your handsome face. And after driving around Tucson, no, she's just trying to kill me off early. She's not as cool as I thought she was. I've lived in this town for 27 years. I have been in 7 rear-end collisions. And so while I hate the way you people drive around here, I really love your insurance companies. And a friend of mine recently posted on Facebook, are you a top or a bottom? And I thought, well, let me think about that. My brother and I used to change every 30 days as to who was on top and who was on bottom. But then I figured out he wasn't talking about bunk beds. And it turns out as many times I've been rear-ended in Tucson, they think I'm a bottom anyway. So, thank you all so far. I have the next comedian I'd like to bring up for you. This gentleman's just getting started in the comic business, but I have seen him several times. He is very funny. So if you would please help me welcome Jerry Robbins to the stage, please.
Let's hear it for your host, Patrick.
Yes.